Guys, we're back with another segment of Run It Back. There he is.
Two of us.
Hey.
Oh,
old
like
school.
The first show.
Wow.
We were on GoPros. I said every single 2 seconds.
We're talking about salad.
We're talking about salad. There was the DC. What was it? The thing that we were talking about? The online
DC Fandom.
DC Fandom.
We're talking about DC Thunderdome.
We didn't have any friends in here. It was lonely. It was quiet, just me and you. And then it was.
Shout out to Garlic Nuts.
And now
Had to go there.
And now we got a full house.
We do indeed.
We got to deal with all this now. So.
They've never had a quiet evening since.
No, we haven't. But you know what? I wouldn't have it any other way.
I wouldn't either.
Next week I can't be here.
I love you guys.
My wife is making garlic nuts.
Oh, there we go. Here
At
we
least
go.
bring some this time. You know what I mean? Like, let me try these so-called
No,
garlic nuts.
ceviche. That's what it was.
No, come on. Man.
Donovan's wife made ceviche last week.
Oh, wow.
That's funny.
I like ceviche.
What are we doing? Run it back. Guys, we're talking about
We're supposed to be doing something? Oh.
Thor Ragnarok.
No introductions.
We're going one by one through all the MCU films, the first 3 phases of the MCU films. I want to clarify, we're not covering phase 4.
No.
We're going to go all the way up to Endgame.
Okay.
First
And then
3
we'll stop.
films. And then we're going to do Star Wars. And then we'll stop. And then we're done.
Then we're done.
Let's set the stage really quick. We've got the fury of the god himself, Marcus, Brother Marcus over here. Out of the hot dog region, I've got Hot Dog Paul.
Nice.
His hair is looking luscious.
I'm going to give you guys a little sneak into this.
What?
This video. One of us has a really bad opinion about this movie. The rest of us have really good ones.
Hey.
Spoiler alert.
Who will it be? Who will it be?
Over there is my little garlic knot. Uncle Nephew Shane.
I can't wait.
How you doing?
I can't wait for this argument. We're gonna laugh and laugh and laugh and laugh.
It's true. No, it's true. It's true. It's true.
Guys, Ragnarok. It was like one of the peak, I think, MCU films. We all, I think we mostly.
4 of us think so.
Yeah, we enjoyed it. We laughed quite a bit. I remember I was visiting the variant when he was living in Arizona.
Okay.
Yes.
I took Gabe.
Traveling variant.
Took my cousin Gabe. We went on a road trip.
Wait, Gabe?
I've got a great story about that movie theater. Actually, I can tell you guys later. I can't tell you on the air, but it was fantastic, and we had a great time. And it was like cool. Like you get to go to like their luxury theater in Prescott, Arizona. It was like not
Oh, okay.
they only had like 3
Rich
movie
people.
theaters, but
Right.
we went over there. It was a cool spot.
That's cool.
And I remember just the movie hit. The crowd is like, we were there Thursday night when it opened. Everybody's like losing their minds.
Of course.
It was really cool. It's fun when you get to see movies like that, Paul. It's like the crowd is like really into it. It's right at the beginning. Everybody was
It's
loving
like the
the movie.
Endgame effect, you know? You go see the movie
Oh,
during
my
Endgame. It
gosh.
was just like everyone's going crazy.
What are some of your thoughts of when you saw Thor Ragnarok?
I loved it. I think visually it was one of the cooler ones. You know what I mean? I think all the colors and what they were able to do with the CG in this one was awesome. I could see where there was maybe some hate because that's, when you mix too much comedy in with the serious notes, it kind of takes away any badass effect when you're like dropping jokes all the time.
Yeah.
Right.
So
Right.
I think they did a very good job in that. A lot of people didn't think Thor was going to be like funny, and he's like pretty funny. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I think it was the perfect. If they would have did any more of the comedy, it would have taken away from the movie. I think
So
that was
the
like
fourth one?
Yeah.
it
like
would have
they did,
turned.
yeah.
That's what I was going to get into. It would have turned into the 4th one. So I think they did an awesome job at keeping everything lighthearted and then actually throwing in some cool moments. I didn't hate it as much as maybe some of us did or didn't like it. Rather, I thought it was pretty damn good. I thought it was pretty good. I give it an 8.
Did you think it was badass?
I thought it was badass, man.
Oh.
Like I said, I think 1 out of 10. I'm going 8. I liked it.
Yeah.
So
For a contrast in styles, let's talk to Brother Marcus over here. What did you think of the Ragnaroks?
So I didn't hate it. I liked it actually. I did enjoy it for mostly, but I think my problem with it, if there is to be a problem with it, is the fact that they tried to put too much different stuff in it in trying to pay homage to certain classic stories all into one movie.
Yeah.
So you got a little bit of Thor, you got a little bit of Planet Hulk, you got a little bit of, so with that, it kind of gets kind of muddled. And if they even just kept it, serious, I would have liked it more. Like Hela's part in it was great.
Yeah.
She was intense. That was that whole. If they
Kate Blanchett, right? No, is that her name? Kate Blanchett.
Yes.
Galadriel. Are you okay over there?
I'm sorry. I just heard Kate Blanchett's name, and I'm a fan.
Yes, Kate Blanchett.
I see that.
So I mean, even like her character alone could have made the whole movie. In terms of
They should have called it Hela.
Yeah,
I agree.
And for me,
Thor 3 Hela.
yeah. So
Thor Hela 3.
Hela Ragnarok.
Is Hela Ragnarok around this thing?
So for me, yeah. I mean, some of the comedic notes, like the acting, the play within the movie where you have Matt Damon and all
dude.
that was funny.
Sam Neill's playing Odin.
That was funny. I will give it up on that. That was good. The comedic notes that were in there, the comedic notes were great, but it did, again, like we were saying, it kind of took away from the serious stuff. You got Hela, you have the actual Ragnarok happening and stuff like that, and that takes away from the intensity and the somewhat seriousness of Thor as a character, And then you shaved his hair, and he's all like, I don't know, is that supposed to be like a modern Thor? I mean, with this,
I know, it looked kind of hot, man. I kind of like the buff Thor with the haircut, fake eye. I was like, I see what's going on over here, player.
Yeah. Thought it was kind of hot.
I see what's going on,
Player, right? Australian for hottie. Right, go ahead.
So for me, I mean, I was able to enjoy it, appreciate it. I enjoyed the Hulk stuff too. I am a fan of the Hulk, so seeing the Hulk as articulate and not a mindless, just Hulk smash.
Yeah.
That I like that type of Hulk. So for me, I enjoyed. There were some elements that kept me engaged, and I did buy it, and I do like the movie. It's just there's certain issues with it that I was just like, I kind of wish it was a little more on the serious side, just for Thor's sake, because Thor
wasn't
in
as
general.
bad as I thought it was going to be.
I was giving it
1 out of 10.
A lot more.
1 out of 10. Well, the first Thor is max points for me. I like Thor, so for that one, I would have to say between 8 and 9.
Wow.
Really?
Yeah, I did like it. I
Okay.
did like
Much
it.
higher than I anticipated.
Right.
And I was giving him crap.
Paul.
Yeah, you wanted violence. I'm a little
No, I
bit not a
didn't
fighter.
actually.
I won
I did
violence.
nice.
Always. I did. I did.
Yeah.
I did.
Yeah.
I think this might be my favorite Marvel movie.
Wow.
Outside of maybe Infinity War and the first Iron Man.
Wow.
I really adore this movie, and I think this movie did something similar that Han Solo as a character does for the original Star Wars movies. The movies are ridiculous. They are innately cockamamie, wild. Like, what is going on? There's a thunder god fighting a big green, jolly green giant in a junk world in the middle of this random universe.
Right.
And the jokes and the undercuts kind of makes, because you're watching this, and I think this is the problem with the first two Thors, especially the second one. It takes itself too seriously.
I was just about to say that. It was just too
And
serious.
I think that's a big problem with the Star Wars prequels. It takes itself too seriously.
Yeah.
This is nonsense going on.
Right,
And
right.
you're trying to make it deadly serious.
Yeah.
And I think that Thor as a character became more interesting and more fun because of that. And he was still able until the fourth movie, especially with his arc from Ragnarok to Endgame. I love Thor in those movies.
Okay.
He is someone who is hurt, but is still an actual person. Like, when I'm sad, I'm not sad 24 hours, 7 days a week. I'm sad in moments, and I still come to the podcast and have fun with you guys and make jokes and crack and be like an actual person.
Right.
And that's what I felt Thor was in this. I think, given the circumstances that Universal owns the rights to the Hulk and they can't make a solo movie, they adapted Planet Hulk incredibly.
Right.
I think that I couldn't have asked for it better. I think the throwdown between Thor and Hulk is
Was
as
so
good.
dope.
It's like
He's
what
a friend from work.
Right. It's what the movie was sold on. We watched the trailers and said, oh, Thor's going to throw down with the Hulk. That's going to be awesome.
Right.
Yeah.
And it
Right.
lived up to every little bit of it. And
did.
it was fantastic. And it's like in contrast to the Batman versus Superman movie. That's what that movie was sold on. It's the name of the movie. Fight is bad. Fight is uninteresting and ends in one of the dumbest ways I've ever seen.
Right.
Yeah.
And this is the opposite of that. It's its own movie. I think the Hella stuff is really good, but I think it would have been kind of like, I think this is where me and Marcus disagree a little bit. I think the Hella stuff is good, but if that was the whole movie, it would have been too serious again. And it would have been, it just wouldn't have.
Different tone
it's
of a movie.
hard to take Thor seriously.
Yeah.
Because he is such a wacky character. And I think in print, it works a little bit better, but to watch this dude on screen jump around, and now there's a line, and that line is Thor, Love and Thunder.
Yeah.
They went too far with it that way. I think
leaned
this
way
movie
too far into that one.
and Endgame and Infinity War, even with the fat Thor and an Endgame, it keeps the balance. It keeps the balance good. Thor feels like a real person, but he is funny.
Yeah. Right.
And Love and Thunder, he feels like a caricature. If Saturday Night Live, like Quan always says, like a Saturday Night Live version of Thor. Like if Chris Hemsworth went on there and was pretending to be Thor,
That's what we got.
that's what Love and Thunder is. But Ragnarok, I think, is a fantastic balance. It's action packed. It's funny. It's crude in moments that are like actually really funny with like Jeff Goldblum's ship and stuff. And I love, we haven't mentioned the Valkyrie. She's fantastic. I really love her.
Right.
And I think Surtur is cool. Like he's super dope. And that's, I just really enjoy the movie. And then the way it ends, it leads us perfectly into Infinity War.
Yeah.
Right.
Where we
I
pick up with
forgot about
Thanos
Jeff
there.
Goldblum's cover. Yeah,
great.
I didn't like him. Either.
No?
Yeah,
Nah?
he was,
I loved it. I thought that was the point.
That was the point, dude.
Oh, yeah, I don't like
I think seeing
he didn't act. He actually was himself.
yeah,
I think.
That's why I liked it.
That's what made it weird. That's like
I think seeing Thor as strong as he gets in Ragnarok, I'm like, all right, this is cool. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
This leads into what he does when you see him like beam into the battle. You're like, oh, this is a problem. Mark Ruffalo's like, you guys are screwed now. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I don't know.
they definitely did fan service because I mean when you see Hulk and Thor go at it in the comics, it's always something of interest.
And
to
you
a
know
lot of
what?
people.
I think they sprinkled in little Easter eggs without throwing them in their face. You see, I'm blanking on his
Ray
name.
Bill.
Beta Ray Bill as a statue is one of the old champions
Oh yeah.
in that on that planet. I can't remember its name right now.
Junk
But
World.
I love it. I love the movie. I could watch it over and over and over and over again.
Shane, what are some of your thoughts about the show? The movie? Did you like the dynamic that they had with including Hulk's, I don't know, his storyline into this?
Yeah, because it made it a lot more interesting knowing exactly where Hulk wound up, and it was another.
That's right, because he was gone.
Yeah,
he got
Ultron,
shot. Yeah, he got
he was
shot.
gone.
He took off into space, and then we finally found out where he wound up. And the fact that he was happier,
Yeah, dude.
That's funny.
he was loved. Nobody was afraid of him. He was loved. He was their champion.
Right.
And they had balloons and all this Hulk stuff.
He was their Captain Marvel.
He was their Captain Marvel. He was.
Yeah.
It was truly fascinating to see that Hulk, could be, this character. Hulk was like the Thor of, you know what I mean? Like he was their champion. I
was
kind of
cool.
dug that a lot. I like what TD did as far as the direction of the movie. But like everybody else said, of course, they had to take it too far in Love and Thunder, and that's a problem when you have this kind of comedic stuff in these movies that some people are viewing. They should be more serious.
Right.
That there is a fine line between super cool and funny and just goofy caricature. It became a caricature of Love and Thunder is a caricature of Ragnarok. And that's basically what
Oh, yeah.
let's be serious. Other than Natalie Portman looking absolutely fantastic.
And see,
Fantastic!
I love
Love
her
and
scenes.
Thunder.
I absolutely love her scenes in Love and Thunder.
Yeah, I think they're good.
100%.
Yeah, me too.
One-
Yeah, she's
and that's
great.
what makes me upset.
She's not the problem with the movie.
She ain't the
She's
problem.
not.
No.
She's not even close.
Not even close. Kate Blanchett is great in Ragnarok as well. I thought she was absolutely amazing in Ragnarok. I'm just saying, and you know what? The weirdest part about it, like Frank, you told us exactly when you went to go see it, and you went to a theater and all this. I never saw Ragnarok in a theater.
Really?
I never saw it
I
either.
saw it at home.
I saw it at home.
Yeah, I saw it at home
saw it.
because I was
wish
not
saw
interested.
Love and Thunder at home. I could have just stopped.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I could have just been like, nah,
Saved yourself 90 minutes.
I think
Stopped it.
I don't want to.
Went to Taco Bell.
I mean,
came back,
y'all know
started
me.
again.
I don't go and see a movie 100 times in the theater. I think I saw Ragnarok like 3, maybe 4 times in the
Yeah,
theater.
I'll see it
I
2 or
don't.
3 times.
I don't
Depending
do
on
that.
it.
Yeah.
Infinity War was the most times I've ever seen a movie in the theater. I saw
Yeah.
it 6 times.
Dark
in the
Knight is the
theater.
most
Yeah,
times I've
I
ever
saw-
seen
I think I
anything in the
saw it
theater.
5 or 6
For me, it was
6 times.
For me, it was Tenet.
Oh,
Yeah,
really?
that's fair. That's
I
the
saw-
kind of movie
saw
that
Tenet a
benefits.
few times.
I saw Tenet
That movie gets
Superman.
better on the second or third watch because then
Yeah.
you're
Yeah.
catching all of the things, you know?
Yeah.
I think
That's true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was COVID, right,
was
Frank?
yeah.
What's that?
yeah.
It came out.
Frank and I saw it, I think, during COVID. I think we were
Yeah,
afraid to
we
go.
saw it. We
In
saw
masks.
it.
So
We
you
saw
had
it
Tenet?
with Adam.
Yeah, you had Tenet. You had
I liked Tenet a lot.
Who was those 2? There was Tenet, there was Black Widow, and there's
New
something else.
Mutants.
New Mutants.
New Mutants was terrible.
Brutal.
That was garbage. Hot garbage.
The really weird part
garbage.
about that
Yikes.
movie is all of those characters, the actors or actresses.
Smoking garbage.
It was very bad.
Yeah. I mean, flies off. Garbage.
Steaming.
said-
Like
Bad
part,
script.
part Stranger Things, part whatever. I don't know
It
what it
did
was.
have some
I
Stranger
think it
Things
had
vibes.
more to do with the studio than the people who made
Yeah.
it.
So you didn't like it.
It got so bad that I think the
movie got-
director actually took himself off of social media because he got so much bashing.
That,
pushed back
I think
like
that is
17
true.
times.
That-
Anyway,
that-
back to Thor.
Oh yeah, that's what this is.
Ragnarok. I
Yeah, you
think.
can get that
Yes,
bad.
sir.
You can get that bad in movies.
Yeah,
What
Frank.
did you think? I mean, Frank, what did you?
1 out of 10.
I'd give it like an 8.
I
It's
give
one
it
of
a
my
7.
favorite MCU films. I mean, it's in that like the top 5.
Mhm.
You know, whatever. Like it's great.
It's good.
It's not quite to the level of like Civil War
Yeah.
or even Winter Soldier.
yeah,
but I mean, it's right
See,
there.
I like it more than
it's,
both of those.
it's in the neighborhood
Yeah.
for sure. I
Definitely
think.
my
It's
favorite
really
portrayal of Hulk. I like Hulk.
I agree.
In this.
good. They were
That,
great.
That was the
together.
That was the
They
selling
were
point
great.
for me.
If
Yeah.
if Ruffalo wasn't Hulk, who do you like better out of the other 2?
I'm
Eric Bana
I like
or
Eric Bana.
Norton.
Out of Norton
Or
and
Norton?
Bana,
Yeah, I like Bana.
I think the first Hulk movie is a snooze fest. That movie, if I was
but
having a hard
wasn't-
time sleeping, the Bana,
Eric
what,
Bana.
yeah,
you put that one on and go to sleep.
I put it on and it would have me out in minutes. It's like melatonin.
It was
That's
called The Hulk, right?
Yeah, no, I think
No,
it's
it's
just
just
called
called
Hulk.
Hulk.
And then the
Yeah.
other one was Incredible Hulk.
So,
Yes.
and I don't think Bana. I think he's fine in that movie. I don't think he does much.
Yeah, it wasn't his fault. It was just a boring film.
I
For the
agree.
most part.
So the other one,
I'm taking Norton.
Norton.
Yeah.
All right. Be interesting. I'm sure they're gonna.
Yeah,
I'm
I
sure they're
mean-
gonna use that in some multiverse something.
I heard Norton's hard to work with. That's why
He'd come back and he didn't do any press for it.
Yeah.
I mean, he wouldn't do anything.
Have you ever
for
seen
it.
the movie Birdman?
Yeah.
His character in that is supposed to be like they pitched it to him as, hey, this is what people say you're like, so let's have you be like this in this movie.
And then-
And he was like, yeah, I'm with it. Because that's how he is. He takes control of projects and he wanted to direct The Incredible Hulk and Marvel was like, no.
No, bro.
And he was
No,
like trying
dog,
to take
come
control
on.
of it and they were like, no. And that's why Ruffalo replaced him.
Wow.
Wow.
So we're gonna switch gears a little bit. We're kind of rounding towards the end of our run through all the MCU films. We've got a few left to get through, and next week we're gonna go through probably the top 3 or 4 MCU film all time. We're gonna get into the Infinity War,
Yeah.
Avengers Infinity War.
That's a whole talk right there, man.
Number 1 or 2 for me.
Yeah, it's definitely up there. This has been fun to go through all these films because it kind of reminds you about where you were and
Yep.
Right.
the
Yeah.
experience you had of like
Right.
processing all this stuff, like this bigger picture.
Yeah.
Right.
You know, it all started with Tony Stark and Nick Fury and pitching this
Started in a
idea.
cave,
Crazy.
with a box
man.
full of
It's-
scraps.
It's crazy to see where we're at now in the
Yeah.
movies. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? Like, it
Oh,
was.
how the mighty fall.
It seemed like, that sucks, dude. No, that's true. And I've said it plenty of times. I think they're just like doing too much, dude.
Yeah, I don't
like, they're
know.
just
Yeah,
like,
that's
Or not
probably
enough.
Or not enough.
Or not enough.
I don't think they're doing it enough.
I just don't think any I think I say it any chance I get. I think this multiverse stuff is killing the movies. Dude.
Well, and I was talking to you guys about that. I think that Marvel is like doing something with the multiverse that is making it uninteresting. Whereas like a show like Rick and Morty, whether you enjoy the comedy in that show or not, I think that like the moral center of that show is really good. There's infinite timelines where infinite things are happening. There's timelines where they're the exact same, except one of them farts in a moment and the other one they don't. And so the point being, like, is this special? It's happening is it more special if it's happening 10 million times in 10 million universes? Or is it more special if it's happening 1 in 10 million universes?
Right.
And that's like the emotional center of that show. And if you're into that, it makes it more interesting.
Yeah.
Where in Marvel, they're like, Kang's coming and you can't stop him. And it's like, well, if I can't stop him and there's 100 million versions of him, who cares?
Right.
Like if there's nothing you can do, what does it matter?
Right.
If it's just going to happen no matter what, you're trying to add stakes to something that you can't do anything about. And it's like, it's just not working right now.
Yeah.
And I think they need to make it a little more finite or change it to an emotional center.
Yeah. The problem I'm having with Marvel, especially when it comes to this, is they work on their villains, it seems like, but they don't work on their heroes at all. You know what I'm saying? Like character development does not exist with their heroes hardly at all anymore. We saw that with Ant-Man. Ant-Man is the same dude that he always has been. Just kind of a goofball, and he hasn't grown, even though he's been in the Avengers.
Right.
Like a lot of these heroes aren't advancing, where they're working on their villains because Thanos was so popular. So now we're seeing, these thespians are doing thespian work as villains in the Marvel universe and MCU. Where the heroes are just kind of the same people they always were, or they're dead.
It's kind of an ambitious thing, though.
No, it really is. It's super ambitious, but I think it sucks so bad because Kang is such an amazing character and villain. Like, but to put him in the Ant-Man movie was just
the wrong choice.
That was a wrong choice.
Like I don't know, like tinfoil hat, like as far as out as you can reach. I think getting Kang while we see like a side Captain America movie of him putting all the stones back or something, and then you see Kang involved in that, like the time travel and all that kind of stuff. Not like the Ant-Man movie, and you're telling me like it ends into a fist fight after Jonathan Majors is like in a Creed movie, bro? Like I'm supposed to compare Ant-Man, Paul Rudd, and Jonathan Majors fist fighting while he's promoting a Creed movie, bro? Like it just
Yeah. I say we see what Loki gives us. If Loki can give us some real stuff, then I think then maybe there's a hope that this won't turn into nonsense. But if Loki ain't good, we may be in trouble.
Yeah, I think they need to definitely take.
That's
their
your
time.
deciding factor, though. You think if Loki's not.
If Loki season 2 is not good, I'm probably done with like MCU stuff for a while.
Good,
Yeah.
That's number one in the list if we're talking about all the stuff. And if you're just going to pack a bunch of just crap and make
It's a number 2 seed.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, I mean,
if you're just going to give me whatever we've been getting, I'm kind of done, dude.
Yeah.
I will Mandalorian the next MCU movies and just watch them when they come out.
Whoa.
Yeah.
I don't know if I'm quite to that
Mandalorian's a
point
verb.
with the movies yet, but for the TV shows, the only TV show I'm gonna watch is Loki. And if it's bad, I'm doing what I did with the Netflix shows after I think it was Luke Cage. The end of Luke Cage was terrible, and I was like, I'm not watching these shows. I'm done.
I'm done.
I'm so done. I didn't watch the rest of this Marvel.
Frank?
I didn't watch any
sir.
of She-Hulk.
Yeah.
Frank, what did I say? What I just say? We are all on board. If Loki season 2 ain't good, we are jumping off this train.
Yeah,
What's amazing is like even with whether it be the streaming shows or the movies,
Your chips.
our literal way of watching movies has changed because of this universe. Sure, and that going back to Shazam is pretty much what affected those types of movies where they're kind of just okay. These are movies. Enjoy them for their own merits. We don't need to tie them in. We don't need to look at them in a grand scheme. We don't need. But
your expectation is for the connectivity.
Exactly.
Sure.
Yeah. Which is not really how movies are supposed to be. This is their own. I mean, this is Marvel and DC's own thing, and great. Let's have it. But we're starting to see. We're starting to
The cracks.
Yeah, we're
Yeah.
starting to see that, and it's affecting the way we look at other movies that may not necessarily be Marvel or DC. Or
We
comic
get
book
Guardians
movies.
3 before
Yeah.
we get the second
Yeah.
season of Loki,
I'm
because
excited
there's
for that.
no release date for Loki. We'll get that before. So we kind of get to close the door on our whole fandom of MCU and James Gunn's partnership.
I have faith
Right?
in James Gunn. Yeah.
I do too. I think Guardians is going to be great.
Right.
But again, we'll see. Time will tell.
Yep.
Right.
Guys, we got to get out of here. We appreciate you guys so much.
Appreciate y'all.
Have a great evening.
time.
We will talk
Goodbye.
to you soon.
Find us on Feed
Next
Finder.
week, Avengers Infinity War
Oh man,
on the Run It Back. Have a good evening.
yeah, I got some.
We're going to run it back to
I
some
got
John
some
Wick
stuff
and a
about
cheeseburger.
Infinity War.
Yeah, I'm definitely sneaking a cheeseburger.
Let's eat cheeseburgers in our backpacks.